Hello everyone, I'm Karthika and welcome to the YouTube channel of LegalEdge. Today we have with us Swayamsiddha Mishra who is AIR 279 in CLAT 2025. So hi Swayam,
Hello, ma'am.
how are
Good to
you?
all fine.
Okay, Swayam, introduce yourself a bit.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Swayamsiddha Mishra. I am from Odisha. My All India rank is 279 and my rank in the state is 2. And I have been a student of Legal Edge for about 1 year.
Okay, so when exactly you started your preparation?
Actually, my preparation was not continuous in the sense that I began from 11th grade. At that time, also, I was a legal ed student. However, due to health issues and hospitalization, I put a pause to it. After that, I restarted after 12th.
Okay, okay. So when you started, how was everything like? Everything is new, and from where the idea of pursuing law came into your mind?
So, as someone who has always been very strong in the humanities subjects despite taking science, and as someone who feels comfortable pursuing literature, and in general, I consider myself to be strong in the language field. So, that is why my father suggested to me to pursue law as something that is timeless. It is going to always prove to be a useful occupation.
Okay. And from where the idea came for joining LegalEdge?
We actually went on a Google deep dive that what are the best coaching institutes in India for CLAT. And even though few from the city, Bhubaneswar itself, reached out, we decided that we want to go for the best, looking at Legal Edge's track record. So that's why.
Okay. Okay. So when you started your preparation, what were your mock scores exactly?
I still remember my first mock score was in the 40s.
Okay.
This was my first mock score. No, like I had gone to maybe 5, 6 classes, online classes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as I'm an online student.
Huh.
So just 5, 6 classes would have gone. And at that time, I gave my first mock. I think it was 45 or 48, my first score.
Okay. And was that a shock to you or surprise? What was that?
I honestly didn't know what to expect because at that time I was in 11th grade. So
Hmm.
I was so new to preparing for law. And even at that time, the faculty had told us that don't be disheartened by this. This is only for you to prepare properly. No one is going to look at these scores. So it was very encouraging knowing that these scores do not determine what will happen. And slowly, slowly, I saw an increase. So it was fine.
Okay. And throughout your preparation, how much fluctuation were there in your scores?
11th grade, when I started out, I only got from the 40s to 60s range.
Hmm.
And then in CLAT 2024, my score was 85. Because I wanted to improve my rank, I gave CLAT 2025. Hence, I took a gap year.
Hmm.
In my 12th grade, post 12th grade preparation, my scores remained from lowest one being in 50s to the highest being in hundreds. So
Okay.
I will say there's been a variation.
ओके सो स्वयं एज यू आर अ ड्रॉपर तो बीइंग अ ड्रॉपर बहुत सारे थॉट्स आते हैं कि मैं कहीं अपना ईयर वेस्ट तो नहीं कर रही हूँ क्या ये फ्रूटफुल रहेगा मेरे लिए क्या ऐसा हुआ कभी
Yes, definitely. But it was before the drop that these thoughts came to me, not after or while taking the drop.
ओके
That is because I gave CLAT 2024. And at that time, the faculty had also told us through the YouTube videos, because at that time I had given up on my studentship thing.
ओके
At that time, I was watching Legal Edge's videos before CLAT 2024, even though I had not exactly prepared for it. That time, I think Saurabh sir had said that you should go and sit in the actual classroom. You should feel the environment of giving an exam. And so, giving CLAT 2024 made me realize I have good potential to crack it. In fact, last year my score was, I think my rank was 2499. So,
ओके
yeah, that is what gave me the confidence.
ओके ओके सो while गिविंग द मॉक्स एनालिसिस ने क्या रोल प्ले किया आपकी पूरी प्रिपरेशन में
Very important. It was instrumental. Otherwise, it would have just made us as in not just me, but also others who are preparing with me feel like we are doing something wrong and we are not good only at this particular subject. But the mock analysis really helped us understand कि on that particular day, what went wrong? Were we reading too fast? Didn't we read enough times? Or did we make silly mistakes? So mock analysis is very instrumental, I would say.
Okay. And in mock analysis, what you analyze that what are your weakest sections?
Ma'am, I would say my weakest sections were going too fast because I have a tendency to focus more on quants, as that is something I consider myself not very strong in. So I try to give little time to English and logical reasoning, which is why a lot of the times in my mock scores, English and logical would be a little less, or sometimes even in legal.
Okay. Okay. And throughout your preparation, who was your go-to person?
As a friend or as a mentor?
Both.
Okay, in that I will say from LegalEdge itself, my closest friend was Ananya. She was also in my batch, Ananya Raghuvanshi. So we both used to do group studies from October to November, and that really helped me at the last leg of preparation, which is the most crucial leg. Before that, I have a lot of friends who also gave JEE and NEET. And
Okay.
because they have been through the environment of preparing for a competitive exam before, they were really helpful.
Okay. So, Swam, what are those few of the mistakes that you made throughout your preparation and you don't want the upcoming CLAT aspirants to repeat the same?
Okay, and here I'll begin by mentioning a mistake I made on the day of exam. And even though I'm very thankful to God for what I got as a rank and as a score, I know where I could have scored a little more. And so that would be not to be greedy. What happens is because of exams like CLAT 2024, where lots of students did really good, we are usually on a mode to increase attempts. So even though I had crossed the 105, 110 attempts part, I began attempting questions in the hope that it would be correct. And actually, that is where I lost a few marks. So that is the number one thing, that if you have crossed 100 questions or 110 questions, it's better to not take a gamble, because there you'll avoid that negative marking. During my preparation, one mistake which I made at the earlier stage was not giving enough time to GK.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, during my CLAT 2024 preparation, one mistake I made was thinking quants is not important. So,
Okay.
CLAT 2024, because I was in my own notion that I am not good in quants, so I will not attempt quants. That is
Okay.
why that time I lost out. So, those
Okay.
are, I think, the two main mistakes I would point
Okay.
out.
So three mistakes were key. First of all, if you have crossed 110 and if you are not sure about the other questions, don't solve. Second
Yes.
is GK. What was your
Yes.
strategy for GK?
Okay, so for GK, actually, my strategy was to not miss classes. But
Hmm.
then what happened, it was God's plan, I guess. I got hospitalized again after 12th.
Okay.
So from June to August
Hmm.
and even to first, second week of September, I was again hospitalized. And so I missed out on that complete time of preparation. So because I had so many classes missing, I changed my strategy that time, that because it would be impossible for me to cover all the classes, I went and started directly looking at the class notes. So
Okay.
on my own, I made notes of all the important topics.
Hmm.
So that way the topics were covered, and I made sure to read CLAT post 3, 4 times. But I was not able to cover all the backlog of the classes. So
Okay.
that was my strategy. And in the last minute, me and my friend, we did GK revision, where I think, ma'am, you also gave me this tip during one council, like mentorship session, that reading aloud GK topics helps us.
Hmm.
So what me and my friend would do, we sat with the thick booklet that LegalEdge gave us, and topic by topic, I would read aloud, underline and emphasize important points. Then next topic, she would read aloud and emphasize important points. And that saved me, and even in ALET, those questions came.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And like you had a fear of QT, right? And you thought
Yes.
that it's not important. So is
Yes.
QT important?
Yes.
Okay.
100% important, because
And
I think
huh.
majority humanities children go for it. I consider myself one of them, even though I actually did not study humanities in 11th and 12th. So I think it is a fear also more than a prejudice. that हमसे ये होगा ही नहीं तो हम करेंगे ही नहीं. But LegalEdge faculty were really helpful. All the quants faculty, even the one in the doubt solving groups, they were so helpful. So because of them, slowly I built the confidence. And I think one mistake is when we encounter a difficult question, we let the question be, we close the RSM and keep it. So what I did this time was that I just flipped a few pages and attempted an easier question. So ऐसे attempting easier questions, the confidence will slowly build, and with the faculty guiding us, we are able to also do difficult questions.
ओके, सो पूरी थ्रू आउट योर प्रिपरेशन जर्नी इतने सारे अप्स एंड डाउन्स आए, एंड जिस दिन फाइनली क्लैट का रिजल्ट आया, तो
Yes.
क्या फील हुआ, क्या आपकी फीलिंग्स थी, क्या फैमिली का रिएक्शन था?
Honestly, I was shaking because this year's CLAT was very different. We all know that.
राइट.
They have done a lot of things with us. And even though I have gotten a good enough rank, I am still very passionate about how these exams should be conducted. So I was, from the day I gave the exam, I was constantly ranting to my parents. पता नहीं क्या होगा, क्यों ऐसा करते हैं. So that is why I had also made plan B and C, that which other institutes I should apply to in case this time also it goes wrong. So I was honestly really fearful. And I don't know how many people would relate to this, but prayer is something that keeps me very grounded. And as someone who is learning Odissi classical music, expressing prayers also through songs and all, I never let that go during preparation. So
ओके.
that is why, call it a coping mechanism or something almost meditative. It is something that helped me let go beyond a point. That jo hona hai hoga. And then when the results came, I was shaking. So that was how it was.
ओके, एंड फैमिली का, पेरेंट्स का क्या रिएक्शन था?
They are all very happy. And my dad specifically said, I remember कि चलो पैसा वसूल हो गए coaching का. My dad said that. My mom was also very grateful to God. We are all quite happy with what happened, especially considering my personal circumstances. They are feeling really blessed.
ओके, एंड हाउ वाज योर होल एक्सपीरियंस विद लीगल एज?
I don't want to sound like this is a sponsorship, but very objectively, I will say that this kind of changes the stereotype about coaching institutes being bad or being very oppressive. Very neutrally speaking, the study materials you have received, the promptness of the, if we email the support team, or even your promptness, you're awake, pata nahi kab kab. Even when we text you at 12 o'clock, you're there to answer our questions, to give us relief. So I will say, as a student, anything we could want is definitely there. And there is such a diversity in the faculty that suppose one faculty is not able to answer your question, there is a likelihood that some other faculty is able to explain it in a different way. Especially in QT, this happened to me that a certain style of solving doesn't work for me.
ओके.
So suppose Antariksh sir taught it in a style, and at that time I understood, but it's November now, and now I'm not understanding how to apply the logic to other questions. So then Shrikant sir is able to help. So I will say there is matlab, no stone left unturned.
ओके.
Very satisfied.
Okay, and last but not the least, what will be your advice to the upcoming CLAT aspirants, whether it be CLAT 2026 aspirants, 2027 aspirants?
Okay. Uh, I will say to those who are targeting CLAT 2026, make sure to look at all the previous year's papers. But more than the previous year papers, focus on your theory classes. Don't miss your theory classes. I don't know if this particular teacher is still with LegalEdge. Her name was Zainab ma'am. I had her when I was in 11th grade, and she was a legal reasoning teacher. And at that time, the clarity with which she taught us, it remained with me till now. And all the other legal reasoning faculty, English faculty, I just pointed her name out because I haven't seen her in a long time. So I wasn't able to express my gratitude to her personally. So maybe one day she'll realize how much she mattered. But the point is that the fundamentals, whether it be of contracts or of like this paper, they asked us a bunch of theoretical things from the basics of legal reasoning.
Mhm.
These fundamentals of every subject are important. So please don't miss your classes. Don't miss your classes is my biggest suggestion.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much, Swayam, for your time and all the very best for your future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, okay.